Hi, I'm Lisa Leiter. In Chicago Business Today, the impact of a Groupon buyout. Word that Chicago's fastest growing company ever, Groupon, might soon agree to a deal with Google is sending the city's technology and advertising scene into a frenzy. Reports say a deal could be worth up to $6 billion, and even though neither company is talking about it, everyone else in town is. The buyout will not only make billionaires out of the company's co-founders, Eric Lefkofsky and Andrew Mason, but would also prove to doubters that Chicago can attract top technology talent and create and build successful startups.
It's just a major validation for the city of Chicago and ought to be inspiration, frankly, for entrepreneurs all around the Midwest. You don't have to live in Silicon Valley, you don't have to move to Boston or Austin or anywhere else, you can do it right here.
The question is, of course, what top Groupon employees will do with their newfound wealth. The tech community is hoping alums of the company will invest in new startups. Andrew Mason talked to me about this in an interview in May.
The reason that there's such a strong culture in the Valley is that you have generations of companies that have since kind of exploded and their seeds have fallen in startups. And there's several generations of talent there that have seen things before. And I guess in order for us to really contribute to that, then we have to get big and then start to suck and have people leave. And then they go form new startups. So I kind of, in a way, hope that we never help the Chicago startup community, if that's what it takes.
Groupon already has hundreds of smaller rivals around the world as its concept is easy to copy. So why would Google pay such a premium for Groupon? The price tag being reported would be almost twice the $3.2 billion it paid for DoubleClick. For one thing, Groupon's growth has been eye-popping. Sales are reportedly estimated to top $500 million this year. The company launched just 2 years ago and has been hiring more than 100 people a month and now has about 3,000 employees worldwide. But the key would be to stake a bigger claim to the $14 billion local online ad market and the growing demand for online coupons. I sat down with Brian Mandelbaum, Vice President for Interactive at Crain to talk more about the potential tie-up and how it would change the advertising business. Why would Google want Groupon? Is it because this local advertising is such an untapped area?
So local advertising actually is an untapped area. Most of the dollars that Google sees right now are from major advertisers. And it's very analogous to what they did when they purchased YouTube. They expanded their footprint and content. And then when they purchased DoubleClick, it gave them visibility into the ad marketplace. But purchasing Groupon would give them the ability to essentially understand offline and online purchase intent at a local level.
Sure, absolutely. And it's almost merging that offline and online with the way Groupon does their emails. They're really going to learn a lot about the consumer, right, and their spending habits.
Right. It's very rare that you can get concrete, personal, identifiable information that lets a marketer understand consumer behavior. And Google doing this gives them that concrete information.
What are people saying in your office and the people you're speaking with in the advertising world? What do they make of the prospect of this deal?
Well, it definitely helps them leverage their display platform. They recently launched into a huge network of display through their exchange platform, and what they did was they used data segments that allow advertisers to understand different types of consumers, from behavioral all the way down to whether or not they're in market for a shoe, like a Croc shoe. And then they could take that and they could find out what did they actually purchase on the offline end. And that's something that's really attractive to Google right now.
And traditional search has been something that really hasn't worked all that well for the smallest of businesses, mainly because Google AdWords, might be really expensive for a tiny business and they might not be able to afford to spend the money that you need to spend in order to see results. So does this help Google build on that segment of its business, the really small businesses?
Yeah, there's a huge untapped potential market with local advertisers. Before, you'd have to spend $1,000 to $5,000 to even be in the market. And Google now has said, okay, we're going to be able to refine our product to be more locally centric. And then with that, you'll be able to see more advertisers come on board and spend less money, but in more volume.
How will this deal change your business?
It'll be groundbreaking for any client that is brick and mortar. It'll be able to give us visibility into consumer behavior that is more concrete than ever before.
Of course, even if Google and Groupon agree to a deal, it still must get the green light from federal regulators. Well, that's this edition of Chicago Business Today. Be sure to keep up with the latest news on this potential deal at chicagobusiness.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.